Hello and welcome back. In this video, I'll show you how to set up your first automated flow step by step. So let's get started. First thing first, a flow is a sequence of actions and messages that helps you automate conversation with your customer. You can think of it as your automated assistant that handles chat for you. So flow make it easy to automate your messages so you don't have to respond manually every time. They also help keep conversation personalized so customer feel they are talking to a real person and not a bot. First, let's look at the start block. So this is where your flow will begin. This is the start block and you need to make sure to connect it with different block using this connection. Now to add a new block, come to the bottom right of your screen. You have this plus symbol. Click on this. You have all these blocks. Let's say I want to insert content block. So I will simply click on this and drag into my canvas. Now to connect your different block, let's say I have this start block and this content block right here. So you simply need to drag a line from your start block to the content block and your blocks will be connected. Now how you can zoom into your canvas, to simply zoom in or zoom out, you need to use your two finger gestures on your touchpad. You simply need to slide up or slide down to zoom out or zoom in into this canvas. To add your message, you need to simply click on this content block and you will see this menu appearing here. Here in the text item, you can write some text. So in this case, we can write, "Hi, first name. We are excited to have you here." So let me show you once again. This first name, which we have right here, will simply put the customer name, making your message feel more personal. So this variable is a system variable which automatically detects the customer name and bring it into your message. Now, if you want to make your message feel more natural, what you can choose, you can utilize all other options which we have. So you can see you have image. If you want to send an image, you can click on this, click here to upload. Similarly, if you want to insert some video or file or voice, you can utilize all these elements within the content block. There is one more option which is delay. So let's say you want to give a break with between your messages. What you can do, you can choose a delay. It will make your messages feel more personalized. It will feel like a human is typing and not a bot. Are some of the things which we have in the content block. I am simply going to close this image. I'm going to close this menu. Now let's make our flow more interesting. Now let's drag one menu block using this plus icon. I'm going to select the menu and simply going to drag it into my canvas, and then I will connect it with my content block. One important thing before we move forward, let's say if you made a connection by mistake, what you can do, you can simply remove this connection using your two fingers. Just select this connection, click it using your two fingers, and your connection will be deleted. I'm going to reconnect my content and menu block once again. So now it is connected. Now let's click on this menu block. The menu block, we have type of menus, button list, answer list. Let's utilize button list for now, and you can write some menu title. For example, how can we help you today? Something like this. And then you can present your customer some of the options. So simply to insert a new button into your menu, you need to click on this add new button option here. Let's say I want to add two buttons in my menu. I will add two buttons, and now I need to enter the title of these buttons. I have entered two titles. For button one, I have written view products, and for button two, I have selected contact support. This is just for a tutorial purpose. You can customize it as per your business requirement. So simply click on save, click this button title as well, and save this menu title. Now close this, and you would see whatever you have entered in your menu block will appear here. So now you can see you have two connection block for your two buttons. So what we can do now, we can connect these two buttons with different blocks. So I'm going to click on this plus icon once again. I am going to utilize this flow block here. So this flow block is very useful when you want to connect two flows. So let's say I have already created a flow for view products. So if I connect this view products button to this flow connection block, what it will do, it is going to throw my customer from this flow to another flow. So in this case, I already have a flow created. I'm going to click on this select flow. In this menu button, I'll click on this plus add flow and I will choose the flow which I have already created for view products. I'm going to select it. So let's say my customer is clicking on button view products. So my customer will now be redirected towards my another flow, which is view products. Now I want to show you the magic of action block. Let's say when some of my customer click on contact support button, I want to notify and assign this chat to one of my support team member. Well, that's very easy. You need to click on this plus icon and you can drag one action block here and you can connect this button to your action block and you can see your button is now connected to this action block. Click on this action block and now we would see what are the options which we have in add action. So now I will choose the action. So I am going to choose, let's say, notify team member and I can type here something like please take this chat. I will click on save and I can choose the option to notify via WhatsApp or email. I will choose notify via WhatsApp and I can choose if I want to inform all of my staff member or only some of them. So I'm going to inform all of them and I will simply cross this and you would see this action appearing here in the action block. I can insert one more content block from this plus button and here I can inform this customer as soon as they enter the customer support button. I can tell them something like please wait, your chat is getting assigned to something like this and click on save. So far we have this content block, then we have connected my content block with menu. And in the menu, we have provided two buttons to my customer. One is view product. When they will click on view product, I am redirecting them towards another flow using flow action block. Then we have another button, contact support. When they will click on contact support, I want an action to be done. So I have simply inserted an action block from this plus icon. And what is the action which I'm taking? I'm going to inform my team members that you need to take this conversation manually. And I'm going to inform my customer in the meantime that please wait, your chat is getting assigned to an agent. Now let's see what other options we have in this plus icon. You can see we have one more block, which is randomizer. So let's insert this into our canvas here. And let me tell you what is randomizer block. So this randomizer block is a tool used to split your audience into different paths within a flow. It's perfect for testing which type of message or path works best. Imagine you have two messages and you want to see which one performs better. So you can set up a randomizer block to send any 50% random users to first message and 50% of the second message. So you can click on this randomizer, you can click on this random split the traffic button and click on add option. Let's say I want to send randomly 50% of my audience to one message and another 50% to the other message. You need to make sure the sum of both the random path should be equal to 100%. So as soon as I have two app options to divert my messages, you would see that now I have two connection point in my randomizer block. What I can do, I will going to disconnect this connection using two fingers. I am going to put my randomizer block here, will connect with the option one, and let's see what we can do. So I'm going to copy this content block using this copy button. And now I have these two content. So let's say I'm going to click on this first connection and connect it with the content block. And I'm going to connect this option two with my another content block. I'm going to write two different message in both of these content block. I can write something like, hey, welcome to our store and click on save. And in this content block, I can write something like, hi, we are happy to have you here, something like this. You can customize it again. This is just for the tutorial. And what I can do, I can then connect this content block to this menu block once again. So what this randomizer block will do, it will randomly direct 50% of my audience to this or this. Make sure that this is not diverting your first percent audience to this or to this. This is just, we are implementing a sort of probability that 50% of audience may receive this or other 50% may receive this. This is especially useful when you want to do A/B testing or want to check which message performs better. So there is a high possibility that some of my customer will receive this message or some of them will receive this message. And I have connected both this content block to my menu block, which means both this content block is going to send customer to this block. So far, we have implemented many blocks. We have utilized randomizer block, content, menu, flow block, action block, and content block. Now let's see what we got here. We have one more option, which is called condition block. Now let's try to implement some condition in our flow. Simply drag it into your canvas. And now let's see how we can implement condition block in our flow. So a condition block is like a decision maker for your flow. It helps the system decide what to do next based on specific criteria. You can think of it as a checkpoint that asks, does this customer meet this requirement? If they do, they go one way. If no, they go another. So we have tracked this condition block. Let me just remove this connection line. I have removed this and let's try to build some conditions. So I'm clicking on this condition. Now I have some options. We have two options, all conditions or any conditions. You can choose any of these. If you are choosing all, it will bring the logic and if you're using any, it will bring the logic or. So for now, let's choose all condition and click on this plus icon to add some condition. I am going to choose is opening hours when passing by here. And when you will click on please select, I am going to choose is open as true. So now I have this condition implemented here. And based on this condition, you would see now you have two connection point, one when this condition is true and another when this condition is not true. So what this condition is, basically, let's say when someone is clicking on contact support, so you are diverting that person to your customer agent, right? But let's say we have a condition in place which is going to check whether your business is active or not. Let's say if some of your customer is coming to you after your business hours, let's say in the midnight or um, before 9 p.m. or 8 a.m. when you start your business. So in that case, you can simply send them a message, hey, we are offline and we will get back to you when our team is online. But let's say if some of your client is coming when your support agent are online or when your business is active, in that case, you can simply direct them towards one of your active support agent. Let me rearrange all of these blocks. Let me remove this connection. So let's say one of my customer is clicking on button support, contact support. I will connect this button to this condition block and I will connect this connection point to the action point, which means when the customer is clicking on contact support, I am going to notify my team members when we are operating, and then someone from our support can take this chat manually. But let's say your customer is reaching out to you when your store or your business is offline. In that case, you can simply send them a message using the content block and you can say something like, we are offline, we will contact you soon, something like this. And you can connect this content block with your other condition when this condition will be false. One important thing to note here, the condition which we have selected here is your opening hours. First, you need to define what are your opening hours. So when you go to settings, you have this option here, office hours. So you can see I have already defined the office hour for my business. You have here the option to choose the time zone. You can click on change and choose the right times. And similarly, you can define your business hours. So here the business hour for my business from Monday to Friday is 8 a.m. morning to 6 p.m. in the evening. So let's say if my customer is coming before 8 a.m., then I will simply tell them that, hey, our business is offline. We will get back to you as we come online. And if they are coming within this range of 8 a.m. to 6 p.m., then I can simply direct that message to one of my customer support and they can take that conversation manually. We have implemented majority of our blocks in this one flow. I'm going to zoom in and I'm going to walk you through what we have done so far. We have connected the start block with the randomizer block, and it will randomly throw 50% of the traffic to this content or random 50% of traffic to this content. Both will get different message, and I have connected both this content block with the menu block. In the menu block, I have given my customers two buttons, view product and contact support. When my customer will click on view products button, they will be directed towards another flow, which is view products. In this case, I have utilized this flow connection block. Let's say if my customer is clicking on button contact support, then I have a condition in place which is going to check if my business is active. If my business is active and my support agents are online, this is going to notify them, and then we can send them a message like, your chat is getting assigned to an agent. But let's say if a customer is reaching out to you when your business is offline, in that case we are just sending them the message, we are offline, we will contact you soon. So this is how we build one end-to-end flow. You can simply test this flow. You can go to your contacts. You can click on any of the contacts, and using this three button, you can click on run flow and send the flow. The flow which we created was all flow in one video. So now you can see this message, which means flow is getting sent. This is how we build one end-to-end flow. If you have any questions regarding any of the block which we have utilized, please feel free to reach out to us and we would be more than happy to help you out.